Hello, this is Tatiana with Truthball in Search of Goof, and this is round 3 of survival strategies regarding going to court and mediation. And I went to court today. So, reminder, I'm not a lawyer. These videos are part of my own coping strategy. I'm not a doctor either. I'm just sharing what I have learned the hard way. Okay, and again, this is part of my coping strategy, so, I know my other videos are, for validating people who are in abusive relationships, and at this level, it's more for those of us who are still dealing with a narcissist, and I'm giving it to you in real time. This is a court situation, not with a, previous lover or boyfriend or anything like that, but this person is a narcissist, and so we had our final court date today. And I suppose at this point also, I think this video is really for the subscribers who are getting notifications, about these, about what's going on. So, I have nothing prepared in my mind. So I just know that I'm very busy this weekend. So I want to get this out and pull out what our survival strategies are, because I lost, y'all. I lost in court. Okay, and this is the thing, because I still had the law that should have had it dismissed, and I repeated it to the judge, and she cut me off. So I'm kind of like, I have no idea why. And another reason why I'm not a lawyer, I do not understand how the justice system works. But if you watch my videos, you know that I have not had justice in my life on many issues. And I have had justice a few times, but the majority of times I have not had justice. And this is the truth, I believe, for most of us. So I can tell you, in all honesty, yes, when I left the courtroom, actually no, I was in a pretty good mood as I left the courtroom, but I did cry at a certain point. I did, after I visited with my friend, I did have to cry. Survival strategy number 1, it is okay to cry. And I had to ask myself, well, why am I crying? Because, as I've said, I'm not going to share with the public what the issue was about, but I was accused of something. And I'm in the right, and I fought for what was right. According to a judge, that didn't matter, and that's okay. That's okay. And I think part of, again, the reason I cried was just my confusion. And I was talking with a friend of mine a while ago about that, so many of the struggles that we go through, I think for me, what disappoints me most, and it's my personality type, I care about justice. I care a lot about justice. And in fact, I was talking with my friend a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about the first time that I was molested as a child, and what had happened in my mind during one of those episodes that has never changed. And we were talking about justice. That what happened, because I was molested on this occasion in a car as a child in public at a street light. And I was looking at the person sitting in the car at the stoplight while this man was taking my hand and putting it in his pants. And I was looking at the vehicle, the person, and I was little, so I'm looking over the window, ledge, and I'm looking at this person thinking, please look over at me and save me. please look here and save me, save me, save me. And I looked at the traffic light, and at that moment, around 6 or 7 years old, I thought, this is okay with the world. What's happening to me is okay with the world. And I don't like it here. And I still don't like it here, right? This is a hard place. It is a hard place, the world that we live in. And justice is the moment when, you know, the justice that we project onto the court system here in the United States is that I'm going to go to a judge and say, this is wrong. And when the judge says, you're right, that's wrong, it's more than the judge saying that. It's society, the society that voted that judge into their position, saying, we don't agree with that. We don't allow that to happen in our world. So when we don't get that justice in court, there is heartbreak, because it feels like that's okay with the world. So, survival strategy. You don't have to adhere to what society says or what your judge says. You and I know that that narcissist in court lied and did this and did that, and it affected your life in this way and that way. And that doesn't mean that that's right with society. My best friend and I talk all the time about economy. He has a master's in economics. And most of us think about the economy as far as how money is made and created and distributed and earned and spent, etc. And we talk about that moral economy. And there is a moral economy that not everyone is participating in. Okay? Not everyone is participating. You know what's right. A few of your friends know what's right. And then there is a majority that is either ignorant, deceived, or one of those narcissists, I would say. Okay? So I think, you know, like I said, I had my crying moment that didn't really last very long, and I thought, yeah, okay, I've been here before. I've had this feeling before, and I think that that's why it didn't last very long. It's like, I'm confused, but I still know that I did what was right, whether anybody else validates me. And this is a perfect example. I have not told any of you what it is that I went to court for, because I don't need you to validate me on that, right? These videos are about surviving a narcissist, okay? And I do appreciate your validation on that, because I do need help with that. I do need help myself stopping and reflecting and not getting caught up in the insults that he's thrown at me and the behaviors that he's doing that's triggering my childhood and devastating me for several days in a row. I do need validation there. Okay, you've been there before, right? Yes, you have. Okay, good. That makes me feel safer in the world, right? It does. It makes you feel safer. Not everybody is like that. And there are people out in the world who know what you're going through. Just having someone know what you're going through makes such a big difference in our esteem and our outlook. And there is a point of acceptance that we all have to go through, that not everybody understands what we've been through. And that's okay. So, validating yourself is another survival strategy. Okay, so what can I tell you in detail? As I mentioned in the second video, I wanted to avoid being menaced, being intimidated, and the threatening behavior, etc., from this person. And so my friend was able to come and join me. And as I've mentioned before, this person who accused me is known in the community. And I was very grateful that my friend is also very well known in the community. So I was really honored that he would come with me to court, especially even because I did lose. And of course, whenever you go into court, and I'm going to tell you that I did this, you're prepared for losing or winning and finding an emotional place that you're going to be okay losing or winning. So I think that helped me as well, that I was emotionally prepared either way, that I did what was right. So anyway, so I was really honored, that my friend did come and watched me lose. It's a great, great friend. And so, he taught, so it was good afterwards, that he saw and heard everything that was said, and, anything else that he could have advised me on would have just been spilt milk, it's already done. But his presence there was highly valuable. So survival strategy, if you can have someone who is level-headed when you go to court, that is extremely helpful. Just his presence kept that man from intimidating me or whatever he would have done. That didn't happen this time. However, when we left the court, as I said in my video, the second round 2 video, I did turn the recorder on as we left the building and had parked my vehicle a few blocks away so that he would not see where my vehicle was parked and wait for me. So we walked to my car, which was 2 blocks down, 1 block over. And we recorded the entire way. We recorded the conversation, and and he was saying, yeah, good to have the recorder on. And we made it, as I said, 2 blocks down, 1 block over. We got in the car, and then I had to drive him back to his car, which was right in front of the courthouse. As we turned the corner, the guy is there. The guy is there walking back towards the courthouse. So he wasn't walking from the courthouse to his vehicle. He walked from the courthouse to where we turned the corner and was headed back. So again, I am grateful that my friend was with me because he did follow us. He did. And I'm glad we got in the car fast enough and we got out of there. So that was also helpful. Just instead of just like trying to tell people like, oh, he did this, he did that. Like I said, I don't talk to people about drama, right? But just a couple of key close friends who understand what's going on, that made me feel safe. Like for someone else to just witness, this person is willing to follow me down the street. For what? So he already won. He already won in court. So why was he following my loves? Because he's a narcissist. Just validation. Okay. Any other details that I can say? I can't really talk about what happened in the courtroom because then it would reveal, what we went to court for. But he was a jerk in front of the judge. Not a total jerk. He didn't lose his shit the way he did in mediation. The way that he was allowed to lose his shit in mediation, he did not do that in court. But anyway, so survival strategies. Okay, because this is the thing. Round 3, this video could be, hey y'all, round 3 I won, and that's it. And I would totally do that to you guys. I would totally do that. I'd be like, this is all totally selfish. I won. Thanks for your prayers. I'm a miserable, rotten person. Okay, but this is the thing. Okay, so I'm thinking, because the video comes later. I'm thinking about, okay, I went through this thing and I do go through the process, not thinking about the video I'm going to do, but I have to go through the process of, okay, what is my survival strategy now? How do I compartmentalize what happened so that I'm a healthy person? And this was interesting. While we were sitting on the bench, my friend and I, waiting to go into the courtroom, while we were waiting, there's another woman that I recognize from the community. And it was really funny when my friend showed up. He was like, "Who's that woman? Do you know who that woman is? She's crazy." And I was like, I know her. And I didn't know what she was doing there, but she was visiting with the guy. And I'm thinking, this is the kind of crazy she is, you know. And she was, actually. She did try to visit with me, too. She is just kind of a kooky woman. But I heard her talk his ear off. And every once in a while I could hear what she was saying. And I thought, that's so weird. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm a Christian, so I was kind of like, this is so weird, this conversation that I'm hearing. Because it's not really a conversation, it's her yammering in his ear. But she's saying all kinds of things like, it's not good to be bitter, and it's not good to lie. just stuff that I was like, these are things, Lord, that I have been praying for you to whisper in his ear. And instead I'm listening to this kooky woman say it loudly to him. And I'm hearing his like, yeah. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's not really hearing what she has to say, but, you know, I think that, you know, I'll, you know, diverge into my Christianity there for a moment and say that I do believe that God wants everybody to be saved. And I know that he will give everybody an opportunity, many opportunities to hear the truth. And I guess maybe I feel today like I got to hear a little bit of him hearing the truth. But once we were in the courtroom, he really did lie. He lied about a lot of stuff. He lied about stuff that he didn't even need to lie about. Stuff that the judge didn't care about. And he lied. And she never called on him on any of it. I guess because it was irrelevant. It was irrelevant. So, I don't know how the justice system works. I know that we just have to survive, right? I think that's it. I have to survive, and you have to be happy. And right? Don't they say that? I mean, you know, the best revenge is being happy. I know it's, you know, said all the time. But it is true. It is true. Even when you're feeling down, you know, and you don't want to hear that, it's the truth. So, my girlfriend, my sister had put on my Facebook just a couple days ago, some meme that said, you get 5 minutes to melt, you get 5 emotional minutes a day, and then you have to gangsta it. Something like that. And I was like, oh, you know, like my signature. And then I sent back another meme that said, you know, like, my signature move is bottling up my emotions and then having a completely disproportionate meltdown because I can't find something like matching socks. And so I said, okay, noted. I will change my strategy. And it is true. It is true. And survival strategy, I've mentioned this in many videos about when that emotional gut kick comes. You do have to let it happen. You have to let it happen. You are allowed 5 minutes, 50 minutes if you really need it, you know, or like in my previous thing, 5 days, you know, whatever it takes, but don't fight the meltdown. Your brain is trying to deal with what's happening. If you feel like you have to cry, cry. If you're a guy, you don't have to share that with anybody. You can cry in private. But the more that you fight it, the more that you are creating coping mechanisms that are band-aids. They're just coping strategies. They're a crutch. It's a crutch, right? A simple crutch would be, I feel insecure, so I'm going to eat a whole tub of ice cream. That is a crutch. When your mind is saying, I'm hurting, I'm confused, I'm frustrated, I feel this, I feel that, and you tell your brain to not think that, don't think that, I'm going to drink a beer instead. I don't want you thinking about that because it hurts and I don't like to hurt, and so instead I'm going to pig out on an entire pizza. So the next day I'm in this, carbohydrate coma. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight it. Even though it hurts, I have experienced and know this to be fact. The pain does not last as long as you think it's going to last. The more that you give yourself permission, you honor your heart. Your heart is saying, I'm in pain. Honor that. Honor that, own it, feel it. And life will become clearer to you. And the pain also will not last as long each time. That is straight up a huge coping mechanism that I have had my entire life. Don't fight the pain. Listen to it and tell it. Tell your feelings. Treat yourself like a friend. I see that you're hurting. I see that that confused you. I see that you feel worthless. I see that you feel that way. Comfort yourself. I promise the pain doesn't last as long. Is the pain as bad as you think it is? It is. It is that bad. But face the pain and it'll be set free from you. Okay. That's all that I have. Without being able to tell you all the details, what can I say? I can say this. I have a really great boyfriend, and I've had one for a while. Okay, because I'm private. But he did tell me several weeks ago that, sorry, timer. He said, this is going to be just a blip in your life. And then he told me several days after that, he said that he told me to just focus on the tasks of the day because it was overwhelming me. I'm thinking, I got to do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh, it's like a whole week away and we're just going to stress about it, So I can give you that survival strategy. Once you've prepared yourself, find peace. Because I did find peace. For some reason, him saying that to me, and I've told myself that many times, just focus on the day. But for some reason, when he said it, I felt like I had permission. So I'm not sure where that came from, but I felt like I had permission to say, yeah, I already prepared everything that I could have prepared. And stressing about it for the next 6 days is going to make me completely dysfunctional. I'm not going to get anything done. And okay, so let's say 7 days ago, he had said that to me. You've prepared, let it go. Let's say that I spent that 7 days stressed out of my mind, thinking about it, obsessing about it, terrified about it, gossiping about it, posting about it on my Facebook, all of that crap, and I lost today. Well, I just would have wasted a fucking week of my life. And instead, I enjoyed my life this past week. I didn't enjoy losing today, but I did enjoy the days that I said, you're right. I like my life. I need to live it. Court date is going to come. Okay? So, I hope that has all been helpful for you. I really appreciate all of you who have, cared and gone on this journey with me. I hope it's helpful because, like I said, this is not an ex-boyfriend, but it is court, and court is court, and it's intimidating, and the person, the narcissist that you're dealing with is intimidating, and sometimes you don't get what you want. I can tell you this, the lawyer that I hired was not able to be with me in court. I can hire him to sue in civil, my counterclaims, to sue in civil court. And this was an interesting thing that the judge said to me. because they're not allowed to give you legal advice. But she said twice, I'm not saying that you don't have a claim or that you do have a claim. And the first time she said it, I didn't know why she was saying it. It seemed to be coming out of nowhere. And then she repeated it. I'm not saying that you have a claim or you don't have a claim, because she can't tell me that I have a claim or I don't have a claim. But I know from the lawyer that I do. So anyway, so I felt like she was kind of letting me know in a legal way that she can't make a judgment on the other things that I'm talking about, but that it is there for me. That's how I felt. I could be wrong. But I wasn't asking her that question. It was like she was answering a question I wasn't asking. So maybe. And I really don't know. I don't know if I care enough to fight in civil court. Because civil court is just, I would just get money. And I don't care. I don't care enough. I have so much more awesome, fun things to be doing than going after this flippin' asshole for money. I don't care. So, what was I going to say? Oh, but the lawyer that I did hire, he is I had hired him previously, and I can tell you this, I did get justice at that time. He did, that reminds me, instead of going to court, maybe I could hire the lawyer to do the same thing. I'll check my emotions in a week. Anyway, he just ended up writing a letter to anonymous person regarding what was going on and said, I'm going to take you to court. Ooh, there goes my timer. I got to close this up, babies. Anyways, that's the thing. There is times for justice, and that guy ended up getting me twice what I asked for. Okay? So sometimes there is justice. That buzzer's going to drive me nuts. So it's time to get out of here, my loves. And I am wishing you much love. Mwah.